back to Astrology Junction channel. Today I'm going to talk about Mars and Venus conjunction, which is happening in Cancer. Along with that, there are two more planets which are associating this conjunction. So it's not a pure conjunction of Mars and Venus in any Rashi, which shows its own effects, but it is also as a flavor of Sun and retrograde Mercury, because conjoining of these two more planets with Mars and Venus, they are going to give you the flavor of all these club planets actually. But if we just talk about Mars and Venus conjunction, or before that, if we just have a brief idea of how Mars and the Venus energy comes together, and what kind of revelations, what kind of energy zone it gives you. So, before we'll talk about it, right? So let's understand first. What do you mean by Mars? Mars, it signifies man in the female chart, and Venus signifies female or a woman in the man's chart. So that is the first thing, and that's if we talk about the human relationship or a human form, actually, right? And then, if we understand the signification of these two planets, then we will be able to understand how this energy of Mars and Venus, work together, or just really work together, or they are going against. That's a question, actually. So Mars is a fire. Mars is a passion. Mars is go-getter. Mars is enthusiasm. Mars is like courage. Mars is also a pure form of anger. If it's a good Mars, then it gives you a proper discipline, masculine body, a masculine physique, personality. Or you have a gym body also, good muscle mass also. And they are good army general, or you can say a disciplined man who has valued discipline in his life. But if it is a bad Mars, let's say it's a debilitated Mars, or moving towards a debilitation sign also, then it's kind of unstructured energy. Unstructured energy, I have already talked about Mars. When Mars is debilitated in Cancer sign, how it's going to react, or how it's going to behave, or how you will behave when Mars is debilitated in your chart. So please check out that video to know more about Mars debilitation or exaltation energy. Here we are talking about Mars and Venus conjunction. So Venus is what? Venus is anything which is refined in nature. Because Venus is beauty. Venus is anything which is which gives you a smooth feeling, or a soothing feeling to your eyes, which is beautified, which is also like anything which has detailing in it, or a value added things. Like, for example, if a home is good, nicely decorated, but if you add more costly stuff or luxurious stuff to it, it becomes a Venusian zone. It's just like that. See, you can live in a when you go out for traveling, you can live in a normal hotel also. That is a normal kind of Venus, normal kind of thing. But if you go to the 5-star hotel, you get a 5-star amenities also. So that's a Venus. It's a Venusian energy. Now, if you go and have a surgical view of the energy of Venus, then it's kind of detailing, it's kind of refining. Anything which is in detail, that is Venus. So Venus is also attachment. Venus in Kalpurus Kundli is lorded by 2nd house and the 7th house, so Taurus and Libra. Now, the Karakatvas to Venus is given to the 4th house, which is vehicle, because all kinds of vehicle is seen by Venus. Venus also works very well in 12th house. 12th house is it is also known as blood pressure, because Venus gets exalted in the sign of Pisces, which is in the 12th house. But it's also moksha trikona, where Mercury get debilitated. Mercury is your intelligence, where intelligence get debilitated there. And also it's a Karakatva of Saturn also. So it's a we'll talk about that 12th house things, 12th house stuff definitely in some other video. But today we are going to concentrate on Mars and Venus energy. Now we have understood Mars separately and Venus separately. But one thing which I'm going to focus on is Mars or Venus is moha, attachment. So wherever Venus is sitting in your chart, in whichever house you have moha problem there, attachment problem. You cannot let go of those things. You cannot let go of those people. You cannot let go of those karakatvas which that bhava is signifying, or which uh, that sign is signifying, or that house is signifying. So here you need to understand the energy of attachment, where somebody, if somebody has Venus in the second house, they cannot let go of sweets. They cannot just stop eating good food. They always want good food. Good food gives them kick, or gives them nice feeling, feel good factor. Their dopamine is boosted there. So likewise, if you talk about each and every house, Venus gives you some kind of attachment, or some kind of uh, moha there. So when Venus is also Karaka of romanticism, love. See, love is there. Venus is particularly known for physical relationship or sexual relationship. But because if we talk about pure love, then it comes from Moon. Moon is a sattvic planet, but Venus is a rajasic planet. Mars is tamasic planet. So just imagine a kind of energy of tamasic and rajas when it comes together. What kind of results it's going to give you? So Venus, which is a rajas, and Mars, which is a tamasic. Tamas is all about me, myself, satisfying my own needs. Tamas is always focused on my own things, my own wishes, my own pleasure, my own. So my or me word is very prominent in here. Rajas is kind of uh, it's kind of giving also, but it's kind of taking also. But if you dissatisfy a Mars person, then they are very good in passionate love. But if they don't get back the response, then they will turn up into the revenge. Mars and Venus in energy, produce some kind of passionate, lusty, or you can say some kind of obsessive energy also, depending upon how closely they are conjunct, depending upon how pure conjunction it is. If it is aspected, or if it is conjuncted by any other planet, then the flavor is going to completely change. See, B.V. Raman Saab also have this conjunction. If you see his chart, I'm going to share his chart here. I think, yeah. See, B.V. Raman Saab, it's great legendary B.V. Raman. In his chart, if you see, in 7th house, there is Venus and Mars combination along with the Mercury retrograde. He is a legendary astrologer. You don't need any introduction regarding him. How punctual, how disciplined life he lived, we all know about it. How fantastic astrologer he was, we also know about it. So you need to understand here kind of flavor it has given in this chart. See, Venus and Mars. Venus is also stands for occult science, because Venus signifies Shukracharya, who was demon guru, but he learned all the occult vidya very well. He was guru of he chose to be guru of demon there. Right? Now Mars, which is also Karaka of mathematics, logic more actually. If I precisely if I would say that Mars is logic, Mars is technicalities also. So every time you cannot say that this conjunction will give you just passionate or lusty or sexual kind of relationship, or having jumping on one relation to another relation, or to third relation. Or, see, it depends upon where this conjunction is happening, which house it is happening, which Rashi it is happening, what other planets are conjuncting him, or what other planets are aspecting it. So that is also very important. That plays very important role actually. See, if this is happening in the 5th house, definitely we can say that this is more likely to happen. But if we say about this is happening in the Leo sign. See, Leo sign is already, it's also the house of love, house of romanticism. But there is a Venus, which is a karaka of Venus, which is a lot of fourth house and ninth house, and Mercury, which is a lot of your fifth house and your eighth house, which is occult house, and then Mars, which is a karaka of your 10th house and third house. So he was everything about. He was writer. He was, a good mathematician. He was good, uh, even the speaker also. Why? Because Venus get exalted in a Pisces sign. The Pisces sign has Rahu. Rahu, whenever Rahu sits in the second house, it gives you a, it's bless your vacha, depending upon what kind of energy you are releasing it out, right? So your predictions will definitely come true when you have second house Rahu or Taurus Rahu. So this was a different example of when Venus, Mercury, and Mars, Venus and Mars energy is conjuncted here and how they perform. So this is all happening in the seventh house. He has given a lot of books because the ninth lord is also there. He has written a lot of books. So ninth, a lot of publishing also is there. Third house of writing is also there. So it has produced a very different and very versatile kind of personality for PV Raman Saab. I think I'll shift to another example here. Let's see the Dimple Kapadia um, uh, horoscope here. Yeah, she's Pisces Lagna, and you can see this is Venus Mars conjunction is happening in the fourth house of Mars screen. So you can see that Venus and Mars, she got married at very early age. So at that point of time, she was considered very beautiful, bold, and sexy actress. So this conjunction has produced a very bold character in her and had gave her a very uh, huge fame also. If we see the dispositor of this Venus and Mars, that is Mercury, which is residing in the third house. Third house is also natural. And yes, Venus Mars conjunction, which is in Mithuna Rashi. Mithuna Rashi is also by born they are, natural actors. So there is a Rashi Parivartan over here. Venus is sitting in the house of Mercury, and Mercury is sitting in the house of Venus. So definitely, it has produced, and result is rest is history, right? So this kind of I have taken two different examples here, which shows how this Venus Mars conjunction work out when this is happening in different houses, different when this is happening in different rashis. So what kind of rashi or what kind of house that signifies, it changes whole story, whole picture. This was just small bit about Mars and Venus energy, how it responds or how it reacts in the different kind of zodiac signs and different houses. So it takes the house quality and zodiac sign qualities, and then it manifests outside. Generally, when this is normally in classical texts, very disturbing facts are written about Mars and Venus conjunction actually. So it's kind of very hard to say because when it was written that the era was different. Now the era is different. You have to be very responsible about how you are interpreting those yogas in today's era. So that was all about Venus and Mars conjunction in Cancer. So I'll see you in next video. If you like this video, just like, share, and subscribe. And if you have this conjunction in your chart, then you can contact me to know more about it. Description the details are given below in the description link, my website and my mail address. So thank you for listening patiently, and I'll see you in next video. Thank you.